Hmm.
Hey Luis,
Hey, Srinivas, how are you?
hey, I'm good. I'm good.
Good.
In Bay Area, it is raining starting today, next 1 week. Yeah.
Oh,
All right. So we'll give probably 3 more minutes for the folks to join.
Hi, Srinivas.
Hey,
Quick question. Did we add people on the AI WhatsApp? Because I'm not added in there because I think mine got started just now, right? This is the first session, right?
no,
Are
this is
we?
actually orientation. The sessions will start on Saturday, and we will create a one or two specific WhatsApp groups soon.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. Because in the past we had AI. Okay, thank you.
Hey Srinivas, this is Prakash. Very quick question. Luis has actually conducted one Gen AI class few months ago. Is this the same one or this is a little different?
So in October to December, whatever we ran, that is cohort 1, 101 cohort 1. and we had one more cohort we ran in Jan to Feb. Whatever we are starting now is 102.
Oh, okay. So more technical and more detailed, is it?
You will hear from Luis, so he'll
Okay,
walk through it, like
understood.
what is the content and everything.
Understood. Okay. So thank you.
Can you guys see whatever I'm sharing?
Yes, Srinivas. Yes, we can see.
Okay, great. Okay, 603, let's get started. Okay, so we had actually like couple of orientations in the past we have done for 101, Gen AI 101, and two cohorts we ran, and for both the cohorts we had like orientation. We talked about, Luis talked about Gen AI 101 to 104, what are the different tracks, what it covers. So today actually like is majorly we're going to talk about 102. This orientation is specific to 102. Before we go that, so let's see like what is our tech club, right? I know like some of you have seen this, but I see like some of the folks who joined actually they are new, and so I just want to walk through like what is the vision when we started this tech club. So the main vision is actually significantly elevate the technical and behavioral skills in the VSF community to make the community even stronger in the field of technology. So this is a vision. We started this in 2023. In a Jan 2023, we initiated the club, and then actually like we had introduced the system design and behavioral questions in 2023. We started with that, and we had did like two offsites, and in 2023, we introduced external speakers, and 2024, we introduced the coding track. And late 2024, that is when we introduced the Gen AI track. So we had like Gen AI cohort 1, we have done we did in 2024 October. And Gen AI 101 cohort 2 actually like we did in Jan Feb. As part of that, we introduced 4 Gen AI tracks, and of which like 101 we completed, and today is actually like 102 we kickstarted. So far we see like 60 plus registrations who expressed interest in 102. So we talk about like how to secure the seat at the end. So some people already made the payment and some people did not make the payment, but we are restricting the number of members to this is like 40. So we talk about at the end like how you can make the payment and secure your seat. Okay. So overall, our future, we want to bring in Gen A and the likes. So how the industry is trending, bringing in the trainings, different tracks, how we can bring our VSF community to new highs. So the few more tracks we are working on is like bringing in mentorship, career guidance, and mock interviews. So if you have any of help needed on any of these, please reach out to like any of the officers So we'll talk about like the potential geo expansion. This is something there are chapters outside the Bay Area who has a lot of interest on expanding our club. So this is something like we're going to look into that in future. So these are the club officers. In 2023, I, Srinivasarao Pachigolla, and my co-founders, Srinath Sura and Veera Gundu. So we three are the co-founders and we started this club in 2023. And Shanti, who is there in the call, so she takes care of like all VP membership. So any of the membership related questions, please reach out to her, and so she can publish the membership form so you can be part of the club and get benefit out of all different tracks that have talked. So you can get benefit out of it. And Shravanti, she takes care of operations of this club. So whether it is Gen AI, whether it is a coding or behavioral or system design, so she helps on making the club operationalize. And Visu drives the coding track, while Manoj, who is there on the call, so he actually drives the Gen AI track. So if you have any specific questions on Gen AI track, either you can reach out to any of these officers or Manoj. Okay. So this is the club membership process. You can take a screenshot or like scan the QR code. Any question, Ramakrishna? Okay. So feel free to take a screenshot, or like Shanti can paste this registration link so you can follow the, this is a tech club registration form, not a 102 registration form. 102 registration, actually, like we'll talk about it after the Luis presentation. So without taking a lot of time, so I just want to introduce Luis. Many of you already know. So Luis is a seasoned data science professional with over like 10 years of experience in AI, data analytics, and leadership. As a certified generative AI engineer, Luis has expertise in translating complex business needs into actionable data strategies. He is currently a data analytics consulting at TPAM Systems, and he leads a transformative initiatives bridging the gap between the business objectives and AI. So he has hands-on skills in MLOps, CI/CD pipeline, advanced RAG, AI, Agent, React, and COT. So this experience, if you're not talking, can you mute yourself? I think Shankar.
Manoj, as a Zoom admin, you can also mute them.
Yeah. I did not become the host. Oh, let me see that.
Sure. Okay. He also holds the Master of Management Analytics from Queen's University and is currently a professor at Durham College, where he teaches analytics. So he is passionate about mentoring and developing the next generation of AI professionals like us. So some of you have seen like some of these as part of cohort 1 and cohort 2 trainings. So with that, I think, let me share the screen again. Manoj, can you turn on the sharing?
Yeah, done. Sorry.
Sorry about that. So without taking further time, so I want to actually like hand it over to Luis. Luis, over to you.
Great, thank you, Srinivas. So welcome, everyone. I think I met most of you at the cohort 1, cohort 2. For those who are just joining us, we welcome you as well. GenAI 101 and GenAI 102 are meant to be standalone courses. This was actually a suggestion from the first cohort that ran through GenAI 101, who wanted to get to more of a technical depth rather than a technical depth in the sense that how do we actually implement this in a business? How is this plans being done? How can we actually, if we're working on an AI project, how can you actually make it successful rather than just working lonesome, right? So this course is particularly based for that. So we'll go through the next slide to talk about more about what is GenAI for business. This course is to help you understand and integrate GenAI into your work. For example, 101 was a little bit more of understanding definitions, how LLM works, how to run your own code. But this one is actually how can you now integrate this into your workflow? How can you boost your own productivity, efficiency, decision making, not only individually, but as a team? Also, how can we develop the total cost of developing these AI models? So this is something that as most people go into AI and they're trying to push it forward, one of the major top things is how much would this cost me? Or how can I determine what the final ROI of this is going to be? These are tough decisions in which you have to know and be able to answer in a business proposal. So we're going to be working with how to calculate these ROI costs, go through all the different types of AI implementations from agentic to RAGs to fine tuning. How can you really determine how much a project will cost and then be able to propose that into a pitch? And then lastly, like we usually have, is we're going to have a final proposal pitch in which you'll have to be able to sort of pitch your idea of what you want to be doing, talk about cost, ROI, and really bring your presentation skills of that business need of AI to fruition. So go to the next slide. So how it's built out is sort of 6 weeks. So one is understanding the GenAI landscape. What's really good is about when we're developing these courses, I can use real examples as you know, as things come out. If you're learning about Manus, if you're learning about OpenAI's agentic frameworks, we can talk about what are the current capability trends that are happening right now in business and software, and that will sort of be being week 1. Week 2 is if you're in a leadership position, how can you actually guide individuals through that change management and be able to do that GenAI usage and lead that adoption across? Week 3 is estimating the cost of AI initiatives. So what's the infrastructure cost, the model development, talent, tools, experimentations? How can you really create that P&L of how is something actually going to be developed in a business? 4 is after you sort of understanding now of what's out there, it's the question of build versus buy. And how can you translate into what's actually worth building versus buying? And how can you actually roll out to real AI use cases and actually put them into rollout plans? Week 5 will be then actually developing a persuasive story and persuasive proposal that justify why you need to invest in Gen AI, or proposal to your boss of why you necessary to have certain APIs built in. Week 6 will sort of be a sum of everything that you learned from week 1 to week 5, and which you'll have time to sort of have a pitch, like I said, 3 or 5 slides, 5 minutes each, explaining how you actually pitch this GenAI strategy proposal, and you're going to be using all the concepts you're learning, and you're going to be determining what are you going to be proposing, how it's important, and the effectiveness of this. So that's sort of the 6-week proposal of outcome from 102. Next slide, please. So what the difference between this one and 101 is that instead of going in there, we're going to be coding, we're actually having more of 50% of lectures understanding more of the business concepts, how to apply it. We'll then have 40% group-based exploration. So we're going to be looking at case studies, collaborative exercises during the team context. And of course, at 10% is about wrap up, peer feedback, and taking away how to apply concepts at work, which comes to QA. That's really more the difference between 102 now. It's for those who aren't extremely technical, but still want to apply AI. How can you do that, right? And you need to have that business acumen in order for this to be successful. It doesn't matter how technical you are from there. All right, the next slide, please. So again, what do I need for you to be successful in this course? Please attend the classes. I've had individuals who said they're too busy to attend the classes. They try to show up in the office hour and try to catch up 2 hours worth of work in that office hour. And although you may only get 15, 20 minutes, you may not be able to capture it. And you know, sometimes when you try to go back, listen to a recording, it's not the same, right? You listen to it sometimes fast forward and you might get distracted. If you're staying there in the classes, just try to attend as best as you can. Write down your questions. So then if you do have things you want to dig deeper to or create that proposal, you can allocate that time in the office hour to learn and ask and do a deeper dive. You might have some additional study time, so I'll be asking you to review some case studies as well. Certain companies are now doing these AI proposals. How does this look like, and what is Gartner saying about this? Collaborate, ask questions. For those who are on the 101 courses, You guys did excellent job in WhatsApp, asking questions, asking for each other help if I'm stuck on this issue. So please feel free to just keep using that WhatsApp and don't hesitate to ask questions. And we're also there to help you during that office hour. So the whole point of this is to not only boost your technical experience, but how can we also help and push up that business acumen? And some people were asking me about, well, Luis, will you talk about how will this affect an SDLC? How can this affect my team if I'm not even inside an IT team, if I'm in not maybe say marketing? We'll talk about how you can apply AI concepts. And sometimes you might not even think about the negativity that sometimes AI will bring. And we'll talk about proposed solutions for that as well. So we'll go to the next slide, please. All right, so these are the program details. As Serena Bass was saying, the training will start this Saturday. Jose, do you want to take over this slide and go from there before we jump to the QA? If you're on mute, if you're speaking.
Yeah, okay. On a program details perspective, like 102 training starts on 15th March, that is on this Saturday, and ends on 19th April 2025. So total 16 weeks. So just ignore this line. So I should have removed. So this is coming from the 101. So the trainings are always on Saturdays, starts at prompt 8 a.m. and ends at 10 a.m. So make sure you join like a few minutes before so that like we can effectively end at the 10 a.m. So office hours for any questions are on Wednesdays. This is main differentiator. So we will concentrate on the class, like the class material on Wednesdays, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. So in previous cohorts, we were having like 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. But starting this cohort, we are changing actually to 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, where you can come up with like any questions. So you can get like expertise from Luis and also like the other people who join. So it can be a discussion and we can up level ourselves on any of the topics related to GenAI. So you need to complete the payment to secure your spot by tomorrow, Thursday, 13th March 2025, because we are going to close the registrations by end of tomorrow, so that we need to take care of the rest of the logistics, like creating the WhatsApp group, sending the invites, setting up the Zoom and everything, all the logistics. The operations team is going to work on Friday. So make sure like you complete your payment by end of tomorrow. Okay, so the gel transaction details are here. Also like Shanti has just sent the registration links. So using that, like you can make the payment. So all the gel details were there in the registration link. All the sessions are recorded and will be shared with all the registered members. So, and the next track after 102 completion is going to be like a GenAI 103. And we will publish the detailed schedules for that in the mid-April, right? When we are going to start, when it is going to end. So, yeah, so then any questions?
There's one in the chat
So
about any.
on,
Go ahead.
sorry. 102 is, if I remember it, understand it correct, it's 50% coding and 50% business use cases that we discussed. Or I missed that part. So what percentage is coding here in the 102?
So 102 is not coding. This time we're developing more business expertise, collaboration, case studies.
Okay.
Yeah, this is more group-based exploration. So this is what you meant to expect, like in terms of when you to attend classes. There'll be sometimes you have to be, well, if you're presenting a business case of a company going through a tough time, and it'll be probably how to define a solution using Gen AI experience and be able to how to solution that with Gen AI, and what would you propose, right? So you'll need to think about more critical thinking of which tools would be appropriate and why in terms of that. So it would be more of that breakout studies and collaborative exercises that way.
Oh, okay. It's basically business use cases that we are discussing. It's like mostly targeted for product managers, kind of, not like engineers.
So again, this is what I said. Like, for those who are questioning, like, do I need to know this? Do I need to have that? Again, like I propose to people, it's always good to have to build out the like how's this going to function across your whole team? As in the first week, I was preparing the slides. Um, AI can help you be productive in your role, and it can be an accelerator. But if no one else is on your team accelerating, then it's still a blocker, right? And it's a bottleneck. And if you don't know how to bypass bottlenecks, doesn't matter how effective you are, you need to be able to way to translate the whole team can be effective rather than just you, and that way you can get 100% productivity. So those are types of the discussions that I quickly go through, and also how to build business cases for new projects that may not be out of your scope, right? So those are the type of topics that I always suggest people to look into.
Thank you.
So there's some questions about prerequisites from this. So this course is going to be mostly about how to use AI and what it is and how to be accelerant. You don't need to have that technical background as 103. 103 coming up will be a second part to 101, which will get deeper into coding, evaluations, etc. that way. 102 is sort of help to build you up technically, and 101 to help you build up technically, 102 is to help you build up business, and then moving forward from there to 103, right? So giving you the right base and pillars. You don't need to have 101 to do 102. 101 would help you in the sense that if you had questions about what is RAG, or you don't know a little bit that, maybe I suggest maybe I'll put some YouTube courses for those who want a quick catch up of what AI tools are out there right now, but you don't need to know them in depth in order to do work on 102.
Luis, there's one more question actually, like I was pinged today morning. Are you going to cover AI agents also in 102? If not, like which track you're going to cover?
Sorry, which I hear the question was the
AI agents?
AI agents.
Yeah.
So 101 we covered AI agents. I put a file in there how to do AI agents in the last presentation. So that was something that we did cover on 101. But we'll talk about it in 102 of how to use AI agents in order to help boost productivity in workplace and how you can actually use it. So we'll be talking about that as well.
Thank you.
Is this a 4-week or a 6-week course starting this Saturday?
This is 6 weeks course?
Okay, so through the end of April, approximately. Okay.
Yeah. Till April 19th.
Got it. The registration link, Srinivas, actually takes me to the original one where I think some of us signed up. So do we just go ahead and edit that? This is the same.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
please edit and make the payment, as well as like update the whatever the code, the payment code, and you're signing up for 102 or 103, whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
The confirmation number, right? The payment
Yes.
confirmation number. Okay. Sounds good.
Anyone else have any other questions? Okay. So there's one question from Anu on will there be training on 101 course again? So we need to think about that. We have a capacity challenges both from operations perspective and the Luis perspective. We need to think about it. Can we do like 2 tracks in parallel while 102 is going? Do we want to do 101 or not? So, but right now, so we don't know. But in future, yes, we will do it. So So there is a question. Okay, I'm pasting the links again, like Shanti, whatever Shanti has put. I'm pasting here. Okay, these are the registration links. Any other questions? Okay. Okay, then. So if Naveen, you're asking about a 101 slide deck. So if you are already attended like a 101 training, you should have like a Google Site link, which will have the slide deck as well as like all the recordings as well. If you have not went through like the 101 training, reach out to one of the officers. We will help you.
Sure. Thanks, Amos.
I think there is one more good question like Louis. So can you share the links needed to catch up on 102?
For sure. So yeah, there's not really that much to catch up for 102, but I'll give you some. I'll send over some YouTube links on the WhatsApp about what is AI, a quick rundown, and what are the capabilities. Is you'll need to know that, but you don't need to know in depth of what they can do, but you need to understand what tools are there. So I'll send some links out there for that.
Srinivas, once we make the payment, I mean, it's actually done, but you will actually share us the links to the Saturday class?
Yes, yeah. So you will be part of WhatsApp group, and you will get like a invite,
Okay.
the Zoom link, and all those. So you should get by Friday, because we are expecting like registrations to close by tomorrow, and then the operations lead can work on this logistics part on Friday.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Okay. But otherwise, Saturday, 8 a.m., make sure you block your calendar, at least for this week, until you get the invite.
So I'm just really excited. Again, I just want to share my excitement for 102. This is something brand new. I'm looking for business. I'm going to be sharing a lot of my knowledge as a consultant. I work for a lot of companies who are trying to navigate what's the best thing to do in terms of AI, in terms of doing it as well. So I'll be imparting a lot of knowledge that way as well. So it's good money in the sense that it's lots of things that I'll be sharing from my own experience for this course. So a little bit different from just learning how to code, but for sure.
Yeah, that would be really helpful. I saw like one of the week you're going to cover the prices. That actually like different LLMs charge different things. Like I'm working on some pet projects and I see like always rate limiting or like I get overcharged, right? So some of these sessions will really help. So whether it's even though it's non-technical, it is needed for the everyone who is working on the projects.
Well, for sure. I think it's important for those who are being engineers is to understand when you use LLMs, there's different types of APIs, which are throughput, pay per token, different things you need to do when you actually go to production. So when you actually move something to production, there's going to be different prices, different ways of actually getting the best performance as well. So that's something that we'll be covering in this course as well.
Prakash, your question. So sessions will be recorded and will be shared with all the registered members.
So one request from our side is whatever email ID you want to use to access the YouTube videos, please register with that email ID so that we are going to restrict it to the video will be a private and only be accessed with the registered email. So if you guys have any preference on the registered email, please use the same one.
All right. I think there are no more questions. Looks like I'm excited for this Saturday's session.
Srinivas, is this going to be a different WhatsApp group than the previous one?
That's right. Yeah. So
Okay.
it's 102 will be a separate WhatsApp group with the 102 registered members.
Okay.
So far we saw like 25 people registered. So we have like 15 spots. I mean, like when they say registered, they made the payment. So last 15 spots before we close actually. So we have time till end of tomorrow. All right.
Srinivas, one question. So I heard that you will create a new group. The old group will still be retained, right? For references if you want to,
That's right.
All
Yeah.
right. Thank you.
Yep, that's definitely, I think that's on a certain week I have on, so when someone asked the question of companies, some are investing in AI agents, can you explain some decent amount of time on that for sure? So this is something that I'll be talking about build versus buy on one of the weeks.
All right. So then see you all in Saturday's class then. Thanks, Luis.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Luis, Srinivas.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Recording in
you.
progress.
Breathe in, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Right hand